Action. Hi guys, welcome back to Moments with Miss Petipana. I am Miss Petipana and this is my channel, Moments with Miss Petipana. Thank you so much guys for tuning in once again. It's been a minute. I know it's been, I think, almost a month or so, which is something that I didn't expect would happen, because when I started my channel I wanted to be really consistent, but you know what, life happens, and yeah, we can't control some of the situations that we'll be in, so a lot will be going on. Let me not say much about that, but thank you so much guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, you like this video, and you comment. I want to see your comments. Yeah, like always, I really want to see your comments. I want to see your feedbacks, what you think about this channel. If you want more, request it in the comment section down below. I will do exactly that, as long as it's not a nudity. I think I will do it. So yeah, today is gonna be a very interesting and informative video, because I've been wanting to do this video, and yeah, I think the time is now. So I was live on one of my social platforms, and some people were asking me where I was, where do I stay, and I told them that I live in Germany. So many people were interested to know how I came here and how is the process like of relocating to Germany, because if you are from my home country, you definitely know that relocating is the only way, the only way that's left for us to maybe find better opportunities, if I may say that. So I promised people that I'm gonna make this video, so that's why I'm here. So today, as you have probably seen from the thumbnail, I'm gonna be telling you ways of coming here to Germany. I know this video might not only help only Zimbabweans, but rather everyone who is in Africa who wants to come to Germany. So yeah, here's the process. So if you wanna come here, you have to learn the German language. What's the German language? German language is a foreign language that's spoken in Germany. So there are basic levels of this language. So there's what we call A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. So for you to be considered a perfect German speaker, you have to have up to C2 level, which is C2. Is there C2 actually? Is there? I have to Google. Is there C2 actually? But at least C1 is okay. Yeah, for you to be considered a German speaker, you have to have at least up to C1 level of the German language. So these levels, they are the ones that open opportunities for you. So let's say you learn the German language A1, just A1. A1 is like the very first stage, which is like the basics. You'll be taught how to name animals, to name food, to name what, how to introduce yourself, yeah, furniture, you know, this basic, just like a kindergarten kid. Those are like that's like the first stage. So after that then comes A2. Now that's like, is it intermediate or no, A1 is not intermediate. What is it called? I'll put it here with the actual name. I'll put it on the screen. A2, and then after A2 you go to B1. After B1 you go to B2. So this A2, you'll be taught some like bigger words now, how to join sentences, how to make at least 2 sentences. I'm hungry because I'm hungry, that's why I want to sleep because I went to this supermarket, that's why, joining sentence basically. And then B2, B1 now, that's like I think B1 is the intermediate level. That's when you can start to have at least conversations to say, today my day was like this, I did this and that, you know. You have at least, I think you can speak up to maybe 5 minutes or so. So that's like basically the German language stages that are like very important for you to be able to come here. That's what you need. So what opportunities does these levels bring to you? That's the next topic that we're gonna discuss. So if you have A1, you can still come to Germany, but you can only do this program that's called OPE. I'll put everything on the screen. The spelling of OPE, right now I'm just telling you the information that you need for start, right? There is OPE. This is the spelling for OPE, and what is exactly OPE? I'll give you like a general meaning of OPE. So OPE is like, you'll be like a helper to a certain family. You, after learning your language, you can search online OPE in Germany, how to find families. So a family will take you and you'll be taking care of their kids. So it might be a family of 4, mother, father, and 2 kids, or maybe 3 kids. So you'll be doing anything concerning kids, anything that has to do with kids, that is making sure that the kids are well fed, making sure that the kids took a shower, you take them to school, you go with them to play, you do everything concerning kids. So that's OPE. Anything kids, basically prepare their lunchbox for school, prepare their clothes for tomorrow, you know, anything kids. Yeah, so that's OPE. So with OPE now, it has age limit, so you can only be a perfect candidate for OPE if you are between the age of 18 years and between 18 to 28. 18 to 27, not really sure now. I'll have to put everything on the screen. If I'm saying something biased, I'll have to put it on the screen. So you have to be between the age of 18 to 28 for you to qualify and have at least A1 level of the German language. So after you have that, you'll be good to be a perfect candidate for that. So that's the opportunities that the A1 level of German language brings. But if you then proceed to learn the language, that is, you learn the A2 language at least, you have like an advance. You have now a little bit of choices, I would say, because if you have the A2 level of the language, you can now apply for social year. So social year is like voluntary work. You come here as a volunteer and your contract lasts for a year, same as OPE. Your contract lasts for only a year. And now the difference with OPE when it comes to social year is voluntary service. You don't work under a family, you work under like a structured organization. We're talking about clinics, we're talking about hospitals, we're talking about hospitals, we're talking about old people's homes, we're talking about kindergartens. So that's where you can volunteer, and more organizations, I guess. Yeah, I'll put everything on the screen if I'm leaving out some important information. So that's where you can work: kindergartens, old people's home, and hospitals as a volunteer. So you'll be a helper in those institutions. So you help everything that's needed that you can do. So during that time, that year, they will give you money, right? During your OPE year and your social year, they'll give you money. So the money that they give you, especially OPE, is not really considered as salary, but it's considered as pocket money, because it's money for you to just survive and maybe take care of your needs. I don't know, because there'll be taking care of you. I mean, you'll be staying with them, you don't have to pay rent. You'll be eating what they eat. If they are to travel, then you travel with them, so you'll be doing almost everything, just like you like a family member. But yeah, you'll be like a family member basically, so that's okay. And then with social year now, you won't be living with the family. So if it's an organization, most of organizations, they have accommodation for their volunteers. So you will stay at maybe hostel, I would say. It's like a shared apartment. It's a shared apartment, so you have to stay there, and some of them they pay for your rent, or you pay part of the rent, some of the organization, but most of them they will pay for that rent. And all you need is to maybe buy your food, your own food. Yeah, you have to buy your food and other things. By the way, they will be paying, so I think it will be manageable. I didn't go through all those processes, that's why I'm assuming, and the information that I've once researched, because I also wanted to apply for those things, but yeah, there were so many hindrances, so I ended up not going for them. So the other one, so with that social year, it has age limit. So there are two things when it comes to social year. It's classified into, there is what they call FSJ and what they call BFD. So FSJ and BFD is the same thing, but the other one is for, it has an age limit. FSJ is for people just like OPE. You have to be between the ages of 18 to 28 for you to qualify for FSJ. But with BFD, you have to be, I think anyone can do it, as long as you're no longer a minor. That is from the age of 18 to, as long as you're still, as long as you can still work, you can actually do BFD. So, but they're all voluntary service. So these programs, you can do them. All you need is that language. At least you have A1, A2 level of German language. So it's like the more you climb the ladder of the German language, the more opportunities that you have. So as we go to my third program that you can do, which is a very reasonable, I would say, very as a way of relocating. These are the stages that are, these are the programs that I've mentioned. They're okay. They give you, because during the OPE year, the family that you'll be staying with, they, like I said, they take care of you, including the language. So if you came with A2, if they take you to the language school, if you utilize your time very productively, you come out of their home with the B2 level of language. And having B2 is like everything that you need in this country. At least it's like the starting point of everything. So as I proceed, there's a level, there's a program that's called Ausbildung. Ausbildung is apprenticeship in English. So apprenticeship is like something that's, how do I describe it? It's a very good program. So I'll explain what's apprenticeship. So apprenticeship is like on-job training. You'll be a trainee, and it has a lot of programs. If you want to be a nurse, you can be a nurse through apprenticeship. If you want to be a qualified nurse, you can be a nurse through apprenticeship. If you want to be a mechanic, you can be a mechanic through apprenticeship. A professional mechanic, you can be a professional mechanic through apprenticeship. So I'm talking about every program that you may think of, every profession that you may think of, it has an apprenticeship program. You can actually start from apprenticeship and become a professional in that field of work. So apprenticeship, it requires you to have at least B1. If you learn the German language up until B1, you have high chances of getting an apprenticeship program. So how does apprenticeship works? So apprenticeship is like you get a job at a certain company, let's say a hospital, a shop, selling is apprenticeship. So marketing is every program. I'm talking about the financial, the commerce industry, the financial, everything is apprenticeship in this country. If it's hairdressing, fitness and training, manicure and pedicure, being pharmacy, everything, every job that you may think of, it has an apprenticeship program. So you look for the field that you want to work in. Maybe it's the hospital, you want to be a nurse, you can apply for that job. That is if you have at least B1 or B2. B2 will be a plus, because most of these companies, they really require you to have B2, because this apprenticeship it's very crucial, because you will be going to school. It's like on job training. Like I said, you'll be trained the job in the field and at school as well. So you'll be learning the job on paper and doing it practically. So you really need to know the language. That's why they need a higher level of the German language. So if you want apprenticeship, let's say you have all the requirements. And by the way, apprenticeship, you have to have at least ordinary level of your country. I don't know what's ordinary level. You have to be done with high school from whatever country that you're coming from. You have to be done with your high school. At least you have 5 subjects from your high school, because they need it as a basic, as a starting point in the level in the German language. So once you have all the requirements, that is your certificate, high school leaving certificates, whether it's a degree or diploma, I will explain more on that on the certificates. So if you have those things, you in the language, you apply the certain company. If they want you, they will invite you for the interview. You do the interview proceedings, and after that, if they like you, they'll tell you that you got a job. So remember, I told you that did I tell you? No, let me tell you now. So during your apprenticeship program, so normally apprenticeship program, they last for 3 years. So during these 3 years, you have to you will be going to school and going to work at the same time, but you don't go to school maybe first in the morning and then you go to work afterwards. No, there will be time allocated specifically for school, and there will be time specifically for work. So maybe it depends with the program, but most of the programs, they've like a whole school block and then a whole work block. So maybe you go to work for a month, and then after that you go to school for a month after that. And there's also time for holiday. You need to rest. There's almost every apprenticeship program has 30 days at least for the whole year, 30 days of holidays. So some of them you choose where you want to have your holidays, and some of them are allocated to you by your school or your employer. I don't really know, but it depends. So that's what apprenticeship is. So during the year, these 3 years, as you'll be going to school, you'll be like a school kid. Everything like exams, you write exams, the practical part has to be there as well. You'll be getting marks from your work, and things like doing your work perfectly are considered. Not being late at work are considered. And apprenticeship as well, the other thing that's like very interesting is you get paid during your apprenticeship program. You get paid the money that's like enough to sustain you, I would say. So that money is considered like a salary, because it's a salary. We're talking about, maybe I'll give a range, 1,000 to 1,100 euros before tax. So that money will be taxed, and you have to pay rent, and that is if your employer doesn't pay your rent, or if you don't have accommodation from your employer. and some of them you're given, some of the apprenticeship programs are given accommodation by the employer, and some of them are not given. So it all depends, Kuti. It all depends that where did you get your apprenticeship, which company, what are their service, what do they have to offer. So you'll be given salary, it's considered salary, and they'll pay you every month. You paid, as long as you're still their employee, they'll pay you every month. Even if you're going to school that month, you're going to school, you still get your salary. For you to be qualified for apprenticeship, you need at least B1 level of the German language. That's what you need, at least. That's the starting point. Then after that, you have to produce a high school living certificate or a diploma or whatnot. So for us people coming from Africa, it's you know, we have like a completely different educational system from here in Europe and Africa. Obviously, the certificates, you have to go through this process that's called anerkennung. Anerkennung, I don't know, it's not translation, but I'll put the actual translation of anerkennung here on the screen, somewhere on the screen. So anerkennung is like your certificates being given an equivalence of the German grades. For example, I'll say an example, like back home in Zimbabwe, we are graded with A's, B's, and C's. You know, that is like, maybe if you have like the best grade, it's an A. If you have a good grade, it's a B. If you have a better, it's a C. So here now they have what they call notes. So for them, notes are like our grades. So they have ones. Like if you have like the best note, it's a 1. If you have a good note, it's a 2. If you have a better note, it's a 3, going to 4, 5, and 6. Up to 6 is like, for us, the U note ungraded, for us the U, which is like the West, is like their 6. So that's how so your certificates, you have to go through that process, which is called anerkennung, so that they be given an equivalence of the German educational system. I'm talking about the degree, high school living certificates, or maybe A-level certificates. I'm talking about the degrees, right? So with those processes, you can naturally qualify to be a trainee in any field of work that you are interested in. That is, if you have the German language, I'll keep repeating it because it's very important. Where do you learn the German language? There's so many institutions. It depends on the country that you're coming from, but there's so many institutions that you can learn German. But if you're interested more on that, guys, feel free to ask me in the comment section and I'll let you guys know. And if you have some other questions that I feel like I've left out a lot of things, but for a start, I think this is perfect. This is okay. If I've left something out, just let me know in the comment section. Feel free to follow my Instagram as well. You can DM me anytime, ask me anything, and I'll let you guys know. Say something concerning people with degrees. So with degrees now, people with degrees, it can be easy if you really passed exceptionally from whatever country that you're coming from. If you really passed exceptionally, this can be really easy for you, because your transcript can go through that anerkennung process. So if your degree is worth being given a good German grade, you can just learn the language from whatever country that you're learning from, and then straight from that you go straight into work, coming here straight to work. I think you have to apply. Not well informed on that, but that's the little information that I have concerning people with degrees. So just like how the high school living certificates are graded, your degree will be graded as well after being given a grade. If that grade qualifies you to be in the market of this job market in in Germany, if you qualify to be a worker, then you can just go straight into working. That's all. That's it concerning people with degrees or concerning apprenticeship. So when it comes to apprenticeship, all you need is your high school leaving certificates. At least if you have more, then good for you. High school leaving certificates in the German language, at least B2 or maybe B1. Yeah, it can be. So I'll say advancing your levels of language will better your opportunities. Okay. So yeah, I think I've said almost everything that I wanted to say in this video and what I think is important. So consider this process. Yeah, if I've left out something, feel free to ask me in the comment section. Follow my Instagram, it's Miss Betty Pana. I'll put it on the screen in the description as well. Make sure you follow me. Feel free to ask me anything, and if I receive a lot of questions, I'm very much okay with doing a part 2, because I know there's definitely some of the things that I've left out, because I can't really remember everything that. Yeah, but I think I've said almost everything. Yeah, so yeah guys, that was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching up until the end. I really appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, you comment, and you like. Yeah, you like, give it a like, give it a huge thumbs up. I'll really appreciate that. Keep the family growing, guys. Without you, this family won't grow. So make sure that you subscribe, you share this video, because I feel like this is information that someone really needs to hear. So make sure that you share this video to a friend who is probably doing their German language currently, or who is deciding on whether they should embark on this journey or not. So make sure you share this video to that friend. And if you have a question, feel free to ask me, and I'll for surely answer you. I'll definitely answer you. Yeah, I'll make sure that I won't ghost you again for this long. That was the longest. I'll make sure that I won't ghost you, and yeah, we're here to stay. Let's grow this fame, guys. We're on our way to 500 subscribers at least. Let's make it happen. Thank you guys. See you next time. For now, peace.